With the constant rising cost of tuition and being a new father, I'm trying to create some creative ways that I'll be able to save up for his tuition in the future. And I think I've come up with a really cool idea that I'd like to share with you guys. As always, I'm the Flippin' Landlord Ninja, and we are Two Guys Take on Real Estate.
Two guys take on real estate.
So first off, this is my first child, and wow, what an adventure so far it's been. And I'm super excited for what all the future is going to hold for him and for myself. But it's also making me look at things a little different, like life and balancing work and life experience. So that has been the biggest challenge. So before I digress too much, I'm just super excited for his future and what I get to teach him like I'm teaching you guys. Obviously, I'm big into real estate. So when I'm looking at college fund, I'm not necessarily thinking it has to be for college. So I want to teach him different experiences and different ways to look at finances and education and stuff like that, and let him make his decision. Typically, the general path is, you go to school, get a good job, all that kind of stuff. That's not exactly the path I've taken, but he can choose what path he wants. I'm hoping to just kind of give him a guideline and then help, support him along the way. One idea that I've had is I want to find a 2 to 4 family house that I can basically buy for him and then basically teach him along the way and put it into some kind of trust or legal entity that eventually he will take over, and then he can, whether he uses that for paying for college, maybe he sells it, pays for college, maybe he uses the cash flow to pay for college, or maybe he takes that and builds a huge real estate empire himself. Whatever he wants, that will be his goal and his choice down in the future. But I want to help kind of just guide him and give him that opportunity. One thing I want to try to figure out is there's a couple different paths I can go here. So first I could go and find a turnkey rental property, such as maybe using like Roofstock, which there's definitely a link in below if you want to try to check them out. Or there's a lot of different, ways you can go about that. There's so many different turnkey properties out there, but I would want something local. So it would have to be local because I want to actually have him go out there, maybe help oversee it a little bit, do some of the management himself, maybe even some of the actual renovations himself for when there's a flip or turnover or something like that. It would be managed with him kind of, joining as part of it. That's kind of just part of personally my preferences. I guess you could just get a turnkey property, put it into maybe a 15-year note, then over after they turn 18, maybe transfer it over to them. Something as putting it in a trust, having them be the beneficiary, you be the trustee, and so on. I mean, talk to a lawyer to figure out what the best legal structure would be for you and how you want to do that estate planning. What I'm really is just more of a higher level kind of thinking is using a turnkey property as a 2 or 3 family house that he kind of has some kind of say in it. So that is one way to go. More likely than not, I'm going to actually look at buying a 2 or 3 family house that needs work, because guess what? That's what I like to do. And honestly, I think it'd be great footage, as well as it should be such a great experience. So his mother and I are talking about looking to be a 2 or 3 family house where we all, with his uncles, will actually go through and renovate the property. So we'll have lots of footage. We'll have him there maybe watching. It just kind of be a whole family experience that he can look back later on. And I think it'd be a really cool just aspect there. So then we would basically buy that property for below market value, leveraging something like the BRRRR strategy. So we would look to getting it for maybe 70%, using the 70% rule. So we buy, say, something for $100,000, or it's an ARV of $100,000, buy it for $70,000 minus any costs and rehabs and liens. And then we would go in and we would renovate the property together. We're probably looking, honestly, not on a big rehab. We were thinking more of a lipstick on a pig, more like maybe upgrading the kitchen, the bath, maybe some siding, and just kind of paint. Simple stuff, nothing crazy. Then basically what we would do is rent it out, find some really great tenants, screen them really well. I guess I have a good property management company for that, so we'll probably just have our property management run it for the most part. After that, we'll go to a local lender. We'll refinance it into a 15-year note. This way, in 15 years, or when he's actually 18, it will be fully paid off, and then he'll have a performing property that's been renovated, that's been maintained over the years, which he's going to help do, and he will then be able to take it over with no liens encumbered on the property. And then he'll have that big asset that's also been appreciating over the time, especially with all the inflation that we're seeing. I'm not sure if you saw the recent CPI numbers, but so yeah, and then you'll have that property that he can then leverage. Once again, he could use this for his college fund. So maybe the cash flow would pay for college, or he could sell it and use that to pay for college. Or maybe he wants to take a loan off of that property, now it's all fully paid, and buy another rental property, and then kind of did something similar to what his father has done. Who knows? Maybe he'll follow in his father's footsteps. The other thing is, all along the way, I want to take him and actually walk him through, obviously right now he's 12 weeks old, so obviously that's not going to happen right away, but when he can actually understand, have him help do some of the maintenance, have him do some of the turnover, maybe help do collection calls. I would also have him on a monthly basis run a profit and loss statement and also a balance sheet statement, and get him to learn about these things that they don't teach you in school, which they really, really should. These are important things that people should learn. It's even better than balancing a checkbook. This is stuff that I teach him all along the way, so he's learning all these great skills, and hopefully he's not fighting me too much along the way, but teaching him all about this stuff and how to run a basic small business and guide him along those ways, and also maybe have him learn how to screen tenants and all this good process and procedures that he could put in place, with, of course, our management company kind of backstopping it to protect him. That's kind of the general idea that I really want to, impart on him and kind of set up for him, because with everything, this will also, now given it's being paid off, so you're having principal paid off every month, there should be some good cash flow, and he'll see that this will rise as, the rise of college costs goes up, so will the value of the property, because in general, they generally rise about the same with inflation, so that will kind of protect that asset, as of course we've seen the dollar kind of value keep going down as they keep inflating it more and more with all the printing that they're doing right now. This will be something that he'll really be able to cherish, because his uncles and his father and his mother worked on this for him years to come. At least this is what I'm thinking now. I'm hoping he appreciates this years later, and not that, oh my God, Dad made me always work on this property. Oh my God. I think this will be a really good experience to teach him. Just like when I was younger, my mom, which was one of the cool things she always did with me, is when we were able, once a week, we were required to actually make a meal for the whole family. So I think I was about 10 years old when she started doing this. And I think I complained basically that I was so sick and tired of what she was cooking. She's like, all right, fine, you're going to prepare a meal. And so she made me every week go to the grocery store with her, pick out the food, figure out the recipe, and then, basically cook something for the family once a week, which got me into this good habit that at the time I was griping, but honestly now it's taught me how to cook and plan for a meal and not complain so much. So yeah, these are the good things that our parents teach us, and I'm hoping to instill the same thing for my son. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, do me a huge favor, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to check out more videos about the BRRRR strategy, which is what we're going to leverage this off to buy for my son and hopefully for his college fund. And yeah, check this video out, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.